This is a really old story, all right? But this gets the point across better than any way I've been able to get it across. This goes all the way back to Adam and Eve. All right? You remember Adam and Eve? You do. Okay, you're really old, Joel. All right. Wow. Okay. So anyway, Adam and Eve, you know, they had a lot of advantages that we don't have. But one was they were speaking the same language. They were inventing the language as they went along. And then they taught that language to their children and their children's children, and that went on for several generations. So if you've got an entire generation of people and there's only one language, you can communicate very effectively. And so information spreads efficiently, and scientific developments happen much more efficiently, and art develops much more efficiently, much more beautifully, really. And we think we're fancy with cell phones and wireless internet and all the technology that we have, nanotechnology. They weren't doing bad either. They had urban planning. They had musical instruments. They had art and science. And one day, the society decided to celebrate all of their success. Does anybody remember what they did? Anybody remember? Who said the Tower of Babel? Someone, okay? They wanted to build a tower. Okay, the idea was they were going to get this thing all the way up into heaven. All right? And one day I was reading this story. You know how sometimes you're reading a book or reading a magazine or the newspaper and something just jumps out at you? A sentence or a paragraph? So I'm reading along, you know, and God is speaking here. So I thought, well, that's a pretty good source. And he says, looking down at this, if they can speak the same language, there's not anything they can't accomplish. I thought, let me read that again. Did I get that right? If they can speak the same language, there's not anything they can't accomplish. So I thought, you know, that'll work in a family. That'll work in a sports team. That'll work in a business. I got so excited about that, I went and wrote the most boring book probably ever written. It's called The Language of Logistics. It's now a website, okay, and it's hooked up into different corporate websites as they're trying to look up words in logistics. To drive the point home one more time, the people kind of forgot who gave them the ability to do all these great things. So God had to do something to help them remember. Right? What did he do? He confused the languages. Okay? So all of a sudden, the person with the drill press couldn't talk to the person with the hammer, couldn't talk to the person with the screwdriver. I don't know what tools they had back then, but you get the idea. And they got about halfway up with this project, and literally it says the people scattered. And that's what happens with a lot of these logistics projects. They get started, and everybody's all excited about it because they see the potential in it, and then something breaks down in the communications because they don't understand what the other's trying to accomplish, and the whole thing is abandoned. Across the street over here, okay, at Coca-Cola, they tried to get a global logistics group together. Same kind of thing. In fact, they called the project Project Infinity. I suggested that's probably not the best idea in the whole world, okay, for that project. Because it, you know, cost infinite and took infinite, etc. But anyway, they tried, and the politics of the company just ate the thing up. So it's not easy to get these projects over the goal line. A lot of it goes down to, do people understand what the other group is trying to do? Because inherently, logistics is trying to connect sourcing and manufacturing and customer service and do all of that to maximize the financial and the service performance of the company. That's what logistics is about.